We have Rabbi Jacob Bellinsky with us. Rabbi, how's it going with you?
Good, good. Thank God. How are you?
I'm good. Now, Rabbi, you've got quite a custody case, and you've been to jail. Look at him. This is a master criminal we're interviewing today. We have a special guest. He's a master criminal. But before that, you were the first Jewish person, well, not the first, well, the first rabbi, we'll say, to weigh in on something that Jeremy Hales said. And so I wanted to ask you about this. Bruce Matskin is Jewish, and in a derogatory way, they refer to Bruce as Deuce Foreskin. Now, why do you consider? Now they claim, and I'll get it up. They claim that it's not anti-Semitic, that they are insulting Bruce, that he's such a waste of space, that he's like discarded foreskin. Why do you think? First of all, does that change your opinion? They're saying that you're just taking their meaning wrong, that it's not meant to be anti-Semitic. It's supposed to just insult Bruce because he's such a loser. Um, is that does that change your opinion at all?
No, I don't. I don't think it changes my opinion, and the reason is that foreskin is something that's connected to Jewish circumcision, and has been a long-standing element of the origins of anti-Semitism. I mean, Jews all over the world have actually had to sacrifice and stand up for their rights under penalty of death to circumcise their children according to the covenant with Abraham, our forefather. And through the ages, there were rulers who basically threatened to kill Jewish parents were they to actually circumcise their children. And the broader issue, I think, here is that this idea of our covenant with Abraham, and that what it represents, a Jew represents the covenant with Abraham and our covenant with God in terms of the representation of the Torah, the Bible. And our very existence is something that has been questioned over time. People don't like the fact that the Jews have this covenant, and we're actually coming up on the holiday of Purim, which is a more modern day example of anti-Semitism against Jews. You have the wicked advisor Haman, who basically offered the King Ahasuerus 10,000 silver pieces to wipe out and extinguish all the Jews throughout I think it was 217 nations or lands throughout his kingdom. And that in today's modern equivalent is something like several $billion. But a lot could be said about that. The main focus here, if I really didn't want to opine too much on this situation with the Hale story, what he's doing. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, who is the senior rabbi that I follow, has always said that it's not good to make this a focal point. Unfortunately, those that are saying things like this, they appreciate the attention. They want to be a focal point. And just to get to your point, though, I think haters will be haters. The bigger issue here is, why would you treat someone like that, whether you're Jewish or not? We need to have respect for each other. We need to be able to have some common decency and be able to look at our common shared humanity, rather than whether or not you think Bruce Maskin is somehow whatever you called him or referred to him. I believe that it's just it's a symptom of something bigger here, that people don't know how to treat each other right, and that it's sad. I don't think anti-Semitism is as big of an issue that people make it out to be, and I don't think we should be making him a focal point to get in more views and more clicks and more likes. We just need to treat each other better. That's all.
All right. One last question, and we're going to get into what happened to you. Do you? I think you said you don't think that anti-Semitism is that big a problem. How big a problem is it in the U.S.? How big a problem do you think it is?
Well, I personally,
Go ahead.
I think there's a lot of hype that you know a few voices have a large, what appears to be a large voice.
Hmm.
And you know, when you have people being paid as actors and to go and do a what do they call it, casting for you know, for an anti-Israel protest, or casting for a, you know, these are things that have been proven in you know, you can find ads on Craigslist and ads on different places where they're actually paying people. It doesn't matter what your views are on Israel or on Judaism or on Jewish people. They're you know, there's money being put into this for a political purpose. I think most people nowadays respect each other. Most people, you know, we might all have our own prejudices and our own biases. You know, I enjoy hanging around with my Jewish friends, you know, and we have a lot of things in common ideologically speaking, in our religion and our faith and everything else. So I might not be as interested in hanging around certain other people, but I think we all respect each other. And if I were to come across someone in business, come across someone at the store, come across someone that might be of a different faith or a different color, religion, background, race, whatever. I think we all treat each other with kindness and respect. And until, you know, someone proves otherwise or shows otherwise, there's really no reason to have this, you know, I don't know, this idea that there's so much anti-Semitism in the world. I think it's a little bit overused. I think
Hmm.
that there's a lot more
I
supporters. I
I
think there's
I
I want to ask though. There's the old adage that with great power comes great responsibility. And so we're not talking about, and what you're talking about is a great description of interpersonal relationships, how the people we're going to meet in our own communities and how we live our day-to-day lives. But if there are people out there, if there are, you know, American or even foreign interests that are out there for political purposes, looking to stoke dissension against Jews, against Israel for political purposes, for sheer power, and that there are powerful people that are buying into this and that are propagating it and allowing anti-Semitism as a tool for political ends. Is that a different issue entirely?
um yeah, I guess you could say it is a little bit of a different, yeah, it's a different issue. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of anti-Israel sentiment out there, and you know, but anti-Israel is not necessarily correlated with anti-Semitism or anti-Jewish Jewishness, so to speak. I mean, yes, they cross. You know,
well,
there is
Rabbi,
quite a.
isn't there pretty significant
Pardon me.
cross? I agree with you. You can be against the policies of the Israeli government and not be an anti-Semite. But what I found is that the two often cross. And I think for the most part, people who are anti-Israel are also anti-Semitic. And they use and Netanyahu is the big punching bag. I'm not anti-Jewish. I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't like Netanyahu, whoever happens to be the prime minister at the time. But don't the two generally cross?
Yeah, I mean they do cross, but they can be mutually exclusive. I think there's just a lot of hype about. I mean, look, Hales might be saying things about Bruce Maskin as a Jewish attorney,
Mhm.
but what it really shows is that he just doesn't know how to treat people right, and he's, you know, what is he doing there? I mean, is it really anti-Semitism? I think because he's using the connection to foreskin and big nose and all those other types of stereotypes, you know, yes, it crosses over to anti-Semitism. However, you know, we all have the capacity to change, and if he wants to claim that he's not, you know, he's not being anti-Semitic, well, then just, you know, then cut it out. You know, learn how to be a mensch, so to speak.
I Here's when I crossed for me, and I'm Jewish as you are. When it crossed for me, and same goes with my former friend Megan Fox. I think people. I try not to to use that card, the anti-Semitic card, because it is a weapon. And you know, if you're looking for something, you're going to find it if you're looking for it. But when people say insensitive things, that happens. That's forgivable. But when someone says, you know, this is anti-Semitic, if you don't stop, if you keep saying it, that makes you an anti-Semite. If you say something that's anti-Semitic and someone points it out and you say, oh, I didn't realize it, that I don't think that's that big a deal. And no one should try to weaponize that. But when you say it and multiple Jewish people tell you it's anti-Semitic and you don't stop, that to me is anti-Semitic, because you don't care about the feelings of Jewish people. You are going to do what you want to do. To me, that's what makes him an anti-Semite. He has been told repeatedly it's anti-Semitic by multiple Jewish people. He refuses to stop.
Well, that's sad. It's a sad, you know, example of, I guess, where he, you know, where he's at. I would hope that you know, this type of behavior would stop. You know, I have no interest or no skin in this fight. You know, if it's not a fight, but you know, I just came across what he was doing and what he was talking about, because I follow some of your journalism, Mr. Volpe and Mr. Luthman, and so I've seen some of the articles, and I don't think you know, it's you know, someone needs to call it out. It's not you know, I have no interest in making a huge deal out of it, though. But yeah, I hope he would change. I hope that he would admit that it's anti-Semitic and that he'll stop. But
hopefully he's
Rabbi,
watching this.
Has he attacked you, Rabbi?
I don't know personally if he's attacked me, but I know his group, you know, came to my attention that his group was posting stuff about me, saying that I'm going to go to hell, and that you know, that I'm somehow this lone rabbi, that, you know, nobody's looked into my background or something, and I don't know, just the things that some, you know, various I you know, I get notifications regarding certain things, and so yeah, they came across my desk, so to speak, that some of these comments have been made.
That's something about the Hales people, and then we're going to get into your case. They want to attack you, and they will attack you for any reason if you go after them. It's not a pleasant or an attractive quality, I'll say. And again, Megan, the Megan I knew 3-4 years ago, wouldn't do that. She wouldn't attack you for the sake of attacking. There was a reason to criticize. That's what she would criticize. Now,